This song, Every Day is a Rainbow for Me, was written by cricketing legend Don Bradman.
The lyrics are essentially about someone celebrating their love, and the idea that even when skies are grey, with you in my life, there's always a rainbow, and things will be okay. So yeah, he wrote it with my grandma in mind in the late 1920s.
While the world wasn't necessarily aware of Sir Donald's other talent, his granddaughter, opera singer Greta Bradman, inherited her deep love of music from her grandfather.
He loved writing music, he loved playing music. It's about the only time that he would ever, I think, capitalise on people being somewhat interested in him was when visiting musicians or conductors would come to Adelaide, and he'd sort of invite them around and very enthusiastically see if they'd sort of have a bit of a jam with him. So, people like Larry Adler was one of his favourites, who was an amazing harmonica player.
Sir Donald's song features on Greta Bradman's latest album, Home, which she recorded with the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra at St Peter's Cathedral.
This record is very personal on many levels. Both my grandparents on my dad's side had memorial services in the cathedral after they passed away, and I sang at those. So it's a very meaningful space for me musically.
Did Sir Don ever see you perform?
In school and certainly in the living room at his house, yeah. But not professionally. He passed away when I was just finishing school, really. And at that time I didn't actually intend on pursuing music. I was just intending on keeping it as a hobby. So he never knew that I actually did take it up and that I sing, which is a pity in a way. I wish that I had had that sense of clarity at that point so that I could have shared that with him, because I think it's one thing that if it weren't for his obligations and for his business and obviously the cricket, I think he himself probably would have loved to have done more with his music too. I think that Grandpa would have been slightly embarrassed but very tickled pink about this song being on the album.
Donald Bradman was famously shy, a trait Greta also inherited from her grandfather.
The glitz and glamour, I really find that quite difficult. Right. And I do wonder, because I know Grandpa was always very, very much sort of averse to any of that as well, and thought it was a bit kind of bullshit, really. Mm-hmm. And for me, it truly is all about the music.
I was curious, do you ever sort of, walk around doing scales or singing to yourself?
I totally walk around when I'm practicing. I find it really difficult to sit still. But I love it. I get a lot of washing done when I'm practicing at home. It's great. For this album, Home, I wanted to sort of put opera to the side for a moment and focus on the music that meant the most to me growing up and that holds really special memories, certainly for my grandparents growing up in regional Australia, and for myself growing up on a farm. Music and sport were the two things that you did to occupy yourself outside in the paddocks or at the piano.